back. Dr. B here. Welcome to Dr. B Uncensored, where we interview candid thought leaders, entrepreneurs, and founders to tell their story to aspire and inspire others to do the same. Hopefully, you enjoyed this episode. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Dr. B Show. I'm here with the great Doctora Shanea Clancy. Doctor, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Doc?
Good, good, good. You didn't think I'd throw a little Hispanic sprinkle?
I love it. I love it. I'm here for all of it.
Awesome. Good, good. Let's jump right into it. We have a limited time, but I appreciate the time you took out of your day to be on the Dr. B show. So tell everyone about yourself.
So, my name is Dr. Shanea Clancy. I'm a registered nurse by trade and a forensic nurse, but I have my doctorate in nursing as well and an executive MBA in healthcare. Really, my mission and purpose is to just help elevate folks and leadership teams to help get their clarification and confidence through keynote speaking, coaching, development, training, and yeah, mother, wife, so three kids, and number one international best-selling author.
Woohoo!
Just
I'm excited for
living
you.
my best life, trying to help others live theirs.
I love it. I love it. Good, good. I just joined you again last week, so it's great. So now me too.
Yes.
I'm a selling author too. So awesome. Good, good. So talk about you today. So yeah, as you mentioned, you have your RN certifications and your degrees from University of Pittsburgh, Duquesne. How do you pronounce it?
Duquesne University. Everybody
Duquesne.
always says Duquesne, so don't, you're not the only one. It's
I was
so
like, okay,
funny.
I got stumped there. Yes, the university, yes, that school of nursing. So how does like all that education and certifications you've gotten, how has it helped in what you're doing today?
Well, it kind of put the pieces together for a lot of personal aspects of my life. I feel like a lot of people are either looking for that personal, relatable aspect or they're looking more for your credentials in education. So I said, why not mesh the two? And already had the personal experience. So I just pressed on, got my degrees, and really my goal was to have everything done before I turned 40, and I crushed that. So I'm thankful for that, but it really just ties in with what I'm doing now because it's put me in a position to be able to, I don't really like to use the word authority, but kind of gives me that leverage to really be able to help folks navigate the different scales of whether it's business, healthcare, starting a business, things like that.
I love it. I love it. Excellent. You're also big on volunteerism like me, right? So you're a volunteer at the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs and a volunteer for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, your alumni associations, Treehouse Coffee, amongst several that I mentioned. So why volunteer? Why give back?
I think it is absolutely important to stay plugged into the community, not just to, you know, stay plugged in and benefit. I think it is important to serve and really just get out there, see what's going on in the community, how we can make it a better place where we live and work, play, all those things. And it really just brings a sense of uniqueness to different folks, right? Where they're at, um, and just different opportunities to connect with folks who maybe I wouldn't connect with on a regular day-to-day basis. But I really just think it's important to be civic minded. I wasn't raised that way. That was something that just kind of became part of me and my mission. And raising my children to have that civic mindedness is so cool to see. They're like mini entrepreneurs running around.
I love that. Yeah, same here. I wasn't really grew up in a household where my mom volunteered. If anything, she worked her position as a housekeeper and worked overtime to make sure there was food on the table, roof over our heads, and clothes on our back. Right. So yeah, as I grew in my career, it wasn't just about me. It was about like serving leadership and giving back
Mhm.
to the community. I volunteered through my employer at the time, and then of course volunteered through Prosponica and other board roles. So, and I agree with you. You get in tune with the community, you get connected with the community, and then yeah, and in my case, and I write it in my book. I have no shame. It's a additional network that I have of folks, and
Yeah.
in addition to that. So I love
I
that.
think it also holds us accountable,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah,
just, yeah, accountability. It's
yeah.
there. It's the kind of like that undertone.
Right. Absolutely, 100%. So let's shift gears. Let's talk business, right? Right. So I know you're an adjunct professor, but that's not what we're here. So I know you have your own consulting services, right? How
Yes.
it helps with mindset coaching, speaking, marketing, mental health, program evaluation. Tell me a little bit about Clancy Consulting Services.
Yeah, so I would really say the nut and bolts is that Clancy Consulting Services really helps teams lead with that clarity and confidence through the keynote speaking that I do, even internationally, coaching and development training, so that personal professional development with the healthcare executive expertise, as well as forensic nursing, addiction, conflict resolution. It's like, how do you make all that fit together? It's kind of a unique palette. And so that's why there is kind of an array of services offered because I've invested in myself and my clients invest in themselves through me investing in myself. So it affords my clients the opportunity to have everything that I have been fortunate to educate myself with as well.
Love it. Can you give us an example, like a deeper dive of how? Give me an example. Keep them anonymous, of course. How you would help a team, whether it's through the speaking or mindset or stuff like that. Can you give us an example?
Yeah, so I actually, one of my first speaking gigs, probably like my third or fourth one, that was back in, I'd say 2013, 2014, was with a Fortune 500 company who brought me in to speak to their drivers about safety, quality, self-care and really just being mindful of each other as coworkers. That was one of the coolest experiences because I was not in like your, I don't want to say normal Fortune 500 companies, but I'm like in where there's the drivers, like cement everywhere, and it's early in the morning because they hit the road by like, 7. And that was one of the coolest things was just being able to share not only my story, but some educational nuggets to let them and help them be better at their job so it doesn't put their company at potential risk.
I love that. I love that. And what did that experience teach you going forward as as you deliver your speeches or presentations now, all the way now in 2025?
That was before I really honed in on my speaking skills. So it taught me, first off, don't say all the time. It's okay to be nervous,
That's the body
but
language.
you need to like
Right.
you're like, they don't edit that out in 2014. You look like a goofball. So, yeah, I just really focused on my presentation. And it was actually my mom who was sharing with me one day, your speaking has really come a long way. And it was in that moment, I was like, yeah, you're right. But it really taught me just to step up, step out. And if I hadn't done that, who knows where I'd be now.
That's good. Yeah, it's all about repetition and practice and knowing like where the gaps are and how to address them. Like even now, like I try to when I have when I interview folks, in the beginning I was doing the same thing, ums and ahs and a lot of dead language. But I always now I make sure that every word that I say is intentional, and if not, I make sure that I also give time for the guests to kind of you know be able to answer without cutting them off too much. So I learned that, and that's through it's like through experience and repetition. So I get it. I get it. So I
Well,
wanted to expand a little bit on the mindset though, right? So I found this according to Dream Maker. I don't know, but right. So according to Dream Maker, their website. So positive mindset can help extend lifespan by average of 7 years. 87% of people with positive mindset are more likely to live a healthier lifestyle, which makes sense, and make better choices for their health according to Dreammaker, right? So why do you think those stats is well actually what are your thoughts on those stats?
yeah, I love it. But mindset is everything. And I think that it gets discredited or too many folks focusing on mindset, right, with different intricacies. Sometimes people think the market is flooded with mindset coaches and different thoughts, but mindset is a, it is the main thing for success. And when you talk about mindset, you're also changing like the neurodivergent, all of your wiring in your brain to have that more positive effect, almost like a dopamine effect, right? If you are trying to be successful, But what really it comes down to is if you are having more positive thoughts, shifting the lens, that's going to decrease your cortisol levels. And cortisol is what affects our waistline and our stress, our blood pressure, which in that turn is going to decrease our longevity. So it's the flip of that.
I love that. I can tell you from experience how that positive mindset has helped me over the past 18 months, right? Because and I share it not to make it about me, right? It's about you, right? So how in the book, my latest book, I talk about how a couple of I don't call it failures, I call it learning experiences, and through those learning experiences, I was able to overcome those learning experiences, and eventually, there was a happy ending to the story, right? Which I don't, without giving away too much, right?
Yeah,
So
don't give it away. My husband and I, we both
make him
got it.
buy it.
We
Make him
bought
buy it.
it.
Make
So
him buy
I'm not going to give it away to your audience. You better go get his
Yeah,
book.
exactly,
So
exactly. But in your line of work, right? How has a positive mindset, helped you? Like whether it's in your writing, in your speaking, in your coaching with your clients. How has that helped you specifically?
it has helped me. First, I'll share about the speaking because I speak sometimes very large audiences. I was on Fox Live during prime time and there was 65,000 people tuned in that moment. And so we're not talking just very small audiences, although that is the case as well. And so regardless of what is going on before I take the stage, even if I have a headache, even if I'm nervous, whatever that is, I pause and literally I'm like, it's go time. It's game time, right? And so that's where the mindset shift of just kind of shutting everything else down and out so that I am able to perform at my peak performance for the audience or the industry that I'm there to serve. I say that that is one of the most powerful pieces when it comes to mindset is just being able to have the ability and agility to just switch it like that because you need to. But when it comes to what I do in all the other realms in writing, especially writing, mindset, that took me a little while to get over because my first book, which was a number one bestseller, was pretty raw and real, and I had to face a lot of potential what ifs and realize I had a lot of limiting beliefs that I hadn't explored. And so I needed to kind of weed through those before I could proceed, which is a huge mind shift set in and of itself. Yeah, that's the biggest two pieces I would say that mindset has affected me and how I use it to motivate myself.
Yeah, me too, for that matter, because sometimes the grass is never green on the other side, right? And so I just gotta like chuck away, plow away. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out, and it does. Usually does, right? So that's
Yeah.
definitely a mindset thing for sure. Tell me a little bit about like your work in mental health as well. Tell me like give me an example. How would you help in mental health?
So I train people nationally, and a lot of companies on mental health, suicide prevention, which is also why I volunteer with the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. It's just a mission, heart mission. My husband is a Navy veteran, and just seeing a lot of different vulnerable populations that are significantly dying by suicide has become one of my missions. And also just breaking that stigma. I think we've come a long way, but I've been on that mission before COVID-19. And so before everybody was kind of divided in the sense of, oh, well, mental health doesn't apply to me. I'm not part of this population. But when COVID-19 hit, everybody was on the same playing field, leveled out, right? Affected one way or another, and almost in a traumatic way because there was so much pivoting and unknown uncertainty. And so, like I said, being a forensic nurse as well is also working with folks who are sometimes at the lowest point or most challenging critical point in their lives, and mental health plays a huge part of that.
I love that. Do you work with individuals or departments? Is it B2B, B2C? Can you expand on that?
So it's a little bit of both. I do not in my company like run as like a nurse therapist. I am more like of consulting. When there was the the Trump assassination in our area, or attempt, I'm sorry, the attempted assassination, there was a lot of folks that came to me that were wanting to consult with me for the trauma-informed care aspect and looking at things that way. I mean, the Associated Press called and had done an interview with me because my name was referred to them for being an expert in the field. And so, it really just depends on what I'm needed, what a company needs. Sometimes addiction and behavioral health, a company or a college kind of needs to relook at their policies and they'll reach out to me for consultation as well.
I love it. And then on the speaking end, is it just you speaking or do you coach speaking? Sorry, I misunderstood that.
No, you're fine. So I have been getting a lot of requests, people wanting me to help them with their speaking performance and
Okay.
being clear and concise. I'm actually working with one of the CEOs at a big company who we weren't even working on that to begin with. And then he was like, you know what? I want to explore the speaking aspect. I'm like, okay, I can help. But it is really more of me speaking, like to audiences or doing trainings, things like that. And
Got
I'm
it.
a paid speaker. I should probably say that because there is a difference,
There
right?
is a
There's
difference.
people who will volunteer,
Yeah, yeah.
but I'm a paid speaker internationally.
Got it. What has worked? Let's say, is it experience over time? Is there any techniques that you've picked up, or whether it's formally or informally, to kind of help succeed? People come
For
to me as well.
speaking,
Yeah, for speaking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For me, it's just
yes.
over time, and things that I've picked up, whether it's through YouTube University or formally. Yeah, like I never did Toastmasters, but I consider myself a great speaker still, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Toast,
you don't always have to do those
right?
alphabet soup,
Yeah,
CSP, Toastmasters.
yeah, yeah.
I have attended a couple Toastmasters meetings too, but I would say that it's a combination of just growing up, maturing, observation, seeing things that you like in a different speaker, and not trying to replicate them, but maybe add some tools to the toolbox. Well, I invested in myself with somebody who helps with coaching, speaking, kind of a little bit of few things. But what I found is that speaking really is an art of not only your brand, but also your positioning and has a very, very large playing effect when it comes to your psyche. So, depending on our movements, positioning, timing, pauses. There is a lot that goes into it. And to really break it down, we probably would need a little bit more of an hour than your show. But
Yeah.
yeah, so investing in myself allows me to invest, like I had mentioned before, into the clients because it really is a very in-depth process once it's broken down and you think about it.
Yeah, and no, that's I love that. I love that answer, by the way. Like for me personally, it's been interesting journey. Like for me, I think it's just experience and time, and then seeing people speak and experimenting different things at different times. So, for example, this speech that I just did at in San Francisco was first time ever. Never tried it before. Uh, but I agree with you. There were certain points that I wanted to tell a story. I gave myself a little cue and timing and pausing and tone. So that's like the next level things that I never did 10 years ago. So I'm glad that I guess experience and time has helped me, kind of like as it helped you. Do you agree?
Well, absolutely. And I would challenge you if you haven't done this, I would challenge your audience if they are speakers as well. Consider where you are in the program. Different spots really hold a lot of weight as opposed to others.
That's true. That's a good point.
Whether it's an invitation or you can, request that. I do a whole when before I even speak, I have this whole kind of checklist and questionnaire that I have folks fill out beforehand. So there's no guessing game. It makes it smooth.
What kind of icebreakers do you use?
Oh, icebreakers. Something funny. Usually I can make fun of myself, let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah,
Really the goal when it comes to icebreakers, I think, is to just get everybody's hand up because then everybody is like, oh, I'm the same as everybody else. And then you kind of have the audience deep breath of, okay, I think I can get on this ride, whatever it's going to be.
I agree with you 100%. I use a line that my friend and mentor Carlos Medina uses. Hey, buenos dias, good morning. You drink your cafecito? Did you guys drink your coffee? And then I go, nah, I'm gonna introduce myself again. So they laugh right at that. I did a whole spiel like a minute, and then I finally got into like the heart of the matter. So it worked. It
Yeah.
worked because they were hook, line, and sinker. A lot of people came to me. I thought it was okay. I guess I'm the toughest critic, but yeah, but a lot of people came to me and say, "Oh, that was fantastic," and a lot of people took my book and now they want to talk to me, so it's good. I guess I did my job.
I love that for you because you were relatable.
Yeah, great. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. What final advice would you give folks that are on the fence, whether it's not an offense of investing in themselves, or more importantly, like you help with mental health and all that, or anybody that's struggling? What advice would you give them?
I always say it's okay to be where you're at, where we're at. Like there's so many different seasons in life, but most people are not mind readers. And so reach out. Like let somebody know, like I'm just not okay, even if you don't want to talk about it. Let somebody that you confide in know, or a stranger. Sometimes it's easier to talk to strangers than people that we know for fear of judgment or looking like a failure. So, whatever is going to work best for you. I just think that it's important to stay connected, and as dark as it may be, there is still hope. And that would be one thing I would encourage folks to consider, regardless of your belief system, right? Like mine might be different than yours, but whatever hope, or I always say a what is it, glimmer, because it ties in like sliver of hope, like all that. I always say like a glimmer of hope, even if it's that little crack where you're like, okay, we can get there. Another day, another second, just reach out. It's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to not stay okay, stuck in your head.
I love that. I love that. What are you working on that you want to promote? Working on a book, show? Tell us what else. What are you working on?
So I'm working on two books. One
Wow.
of them, I'm so excited for the one. One's about mental health. Don't get me wrong, I'm excited. The other one is about mindset, but it's not going to be your everyday mindset book because as a trained mountaineer and somebody who just jumped out of a plane last weekend for the first time skydiving,
Holy cow.
it was amazing. I am gonna intertwine some of these things and just make it relatable, but yet super applicable. Those are the two things that I'm working on as far as projects.
Please let us
And
know. Please let us know once they're
yes,
final, and we'd love to share with my audience for sure.
I will. I appreciate you. Yes. And just, getting on more stages. I feel like more trainings, more stages, those are definitely on the horizon.
I love it. Where can people find contact information about you, whether they want to hire you as a coach, consultant, speaker, etc.?
Yes. I'm gonna guess you'll put it in the show notes because my name's a little tricky. It
I will.
is it's my website, so shanaclancy.com. So www.shanaclancy.com. All my socials. I mean, my email, Sal, all that's on there. So I'm easy to find. I find if you're easy to find, people will find you. If you make it hard, they're gonna give up. So I'm out there.
I love it. Dr. Clancy, it's a pleasure having you on my show. I enjoyed our conversation. 30 minutes went by quick. Let's see, it's already 12:30, so I
Yes.
love it. Doctor, thank you so much for being on the show, and I know this conversation brings some awesome value to my audience. So thank you so much for being on.
Yes. Thanks for having me. Have a great week.
Doctor, Doctor, for why don't you first name for me?
Shayna.
Shayna. I don't know why I almost said Shanae. Dr.
I get
Shayna
it all.
Clancy.
I get Shania, and I'm like, I don't have her money, but okay.
Dr. Shayna Clancy, everybody. Hi, everybody. Dr. B here, Dr. B Uncensored. Hopefully, you enjoyed that episode. Remember, you are one big deal away. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel now. Take care.